Nicolina Iduama is in the studio. I also have Kobna Tebedu, who's a counselor, is also in the studio, and Mr. PG Sebastian, a relationship coach, who's also in the studio. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start with you, as protocol demands. Now, Nicolina, when it comes to the whole question of, now we're talking about singles.
Okay.
Now, some of the issues that people have to are faced with is, how do I behave as a single person? So you may be dating a guy, or a guy may be dating a woman, and how do you then define the boundaries of what you do as a single and what you don't do? Because while you're single, you're a potential target for a prospective person.
Certainly.
But you may be in a relationship, and if you have, let's say, a male friend who invites you to dinner, do you go without accepting your partner? What are the boundaries? What are some of the things that people should be doing to cultivate a healthy relationship?
Good morning to our listeners and to all singles out there. I'm sure by the time we're done, you would have learned a lot. I want to say that if you're single, you need to enjoy your singlehood before you get into dating, leading to marriage or whatever. Now, how do you enjoy your singlehood? You need to have values for yourself, set values for yourself as a person. Have a vision for your life. Know what you're about. Know what you want in life. You need to be independent. Okay? Now, so you have all the set values for yourself. I sleep at 9 o'clock. I have a career path I've taken. Relationship with my family, everything going on well. I have friends, numerous friends.
Yeah, but
male, female friends. Now, my values is that I have time I share with my friends, irrespective of whether they are males or females.
And when you're talking singles, we are talking within the context of also dating, not necessarily getting married.
Okay. Yes, context of dating. So I was trying to build a point. Now, so you have friends, both males and females. And then out of which we say you have a crush on somebody,
Sure.
or somebody attracts you. At that level, you want to be friends more with them other than what you have with everybody. So you talk about the platonic love relationship, okay? Now, so you have this friend. You can go out, have lunch, have dinner, but you need to, like you said, have some boundaries for yourself. And that will come from your set values.
Right.
I don't do certain things as a person, as an individual. So you need to enjoy. You are not tied or bound by the fact that I am dating so and so, so I can't visit my parents.
Sure.
I can't visit other friends. I can't go out with other friends of mine. I don't have a mind of my own. All of a sudden, because you're dating, everything comes to a standstill. No.
Okay, hold the thought. Kobna, what's your take on that?
All right. So, first, let's remember that there's a time for everything. A time to cry and a time to rejoice. So there's a time to be single and a time to be married. When it's not time to be married, the world should not come to an end. For me, life is like a journey. On your way, there are several bus stops. One of the bus stops is marriage. When you get to that bus stop and the bus is there waiting for you, hop on and move on. You get there and the bus is not there, keep moving. Keep walking. So marriage should not stop anyone from living. The truth of the matter is that not everyone should get married. We need to understand that. Some of us need to look at ourselves and realize that we can't live well with people.
Yeah,
so marriage is not for us.
It's funny. It's funny.
So people should learn to accept that.
Yeah, because I think we have a society that the premonition is say, once you get to a certain age, you must get married, you must have your kids and all that. But it's not for everyone.
Marriage has become a milestone. So you are giving birth to. You go to school. When you finish school, get a job. As soon as you get a job, the next milestone is get married.
Right.
It shouldn't be a milestone.
Okay, hold that thought. Look, the phone lines are now open. 0302 216 541. 0302 216 541. Let us have your questions, and my guests in the studio, I'm sure, are well and truly experienced to tackle anything you throw at them. Thank you very much for that, Kobna. PG.
Right.
The whole question of
yes.
What do you do, what didn't you do?
I think that, when you are single, the first thing you do is to discover yourself. Because you can never tell other people who you are if you don't know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, you can't actually even know what is good for you and what is not good for you, what works for you and what doesn't work for you. What you want now in the mid-term, in the long term. If you don't know yourself, there will be so many things that you yourself can't even share with people. So you realize a lot of people are in relationships and they are defining their reality based on who they are dating. I know somebody who changed like 3 different courses in the university because of who she was dating. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. She just changed the course just to be with a particular person. That tells you, how unsure such a person is of him or herself. So people end up being with people, and then along the line realize that, no, this is not for me, this is not what I want, then they move out. But if you know yourself, you know where you are going, you know what you are about, you love yourself, you're able to have something that says like a checklist. So Kojo comes around, or Kofi comes around, or Kwame comes around, or Ajua comes around, then you say that, no, you don't check in this. Because in my expectation, I see XYZ in a husband, I see XYZ in a woman, and you don't fall in.
Yeah, but does that suggest that a lot of singles, especially the younger ones, I won't say they've lost sense of the values that they're supposed to have, but it could well be that they don't even know what the values they're supposed to have.
Exactly. So it's because probably they haven't interrogated the reality. They haven't actually sat down to do a proper self-analysis.
Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I think I have a caller on the line.
Right.
Hello.
Hello, Nana. Good morning.
Yeah,
and
good morning.
Thanks
Good
for
morning.
calling into the show. Let's have your
thank
question.
Okay, actually, it's not a question. I want to give a contribution about being single. Actually, I was very young. I had my heartbreak at a very young age. What happened was, I had a chance to experience certain things. So after that, I realized that it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Being single, I was able to identify myself. I learned certain things, and I realized that you have to make yourself happy. The first person to make you happy is you. Any other person adapts to the happiness you already have. You identify yourself. And with this, it made me know what I want in terms of going into another relationship, what I'm expecting from someone, who I am, and the kind of person I want to be with. So it made it very easy for me. So I think if we are able to identify who we are when we are single, it helps us to make certain decisions that helps us going into the future. So that's the contribution I want to add to it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. He raised a very interesting point about the importance of identifying who you are, making yourself happy before anybody else comes on. So everybody is addition.
And it's very relevant to know who you are, because who you are will determine who fits
into
your life.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's a very good point. Right, I have a message in here from, let's see, who is this? Jayla in Ashalboche says, my girlfriend and I of almost 1 year got together under a circumstance which is raising a lot of issues of trust in our relationship. She was in a relationship with a married man whom she once introduced me to, and claimed she really loved him, and was broken to discover the person was married. She wasn't really into me, but was realized my intentions were genuine towards her when I was supportive during her emotional downs. 1 year into the relationship, I can't seem to feel the spark that I experienced with her from the beginning, and I'm wondering if I'm doing the right thing. That's from Jayla in Botre.
Rebound.
Right. Come now.
So
What's the situation here? What's going on here?
This is a case of rebound.
Right.
So she was in a relationship with someone she loved dearly.
Right.
This man was an acquaintance. Then she discovered the man was married. So she had to let go. And the closest to him and the shoulder that she got was him. So she felt it was love. But in actual fact, it was to help her get over her situation.
Right.
So now that time has passed, she's now realizing she's not so much in love, so she's not able to show the affection that he wants to see.
Okay, now
So
before that, I have
he's in that
Francis. I
place.
have Francis on the line. Francis, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling Joy 99.7. What's your contribution or what's your question?
Please, it's a frustration and a question at the same time.
Wow. Okay, let's hear it.
I'm at a crossroad. Please give me almost about 2-3 minutes. Let me summarize everything. I really need your help.
Well, try and do it as short as possible. Because
All right. So I'm in a 2-month relationship, and I proposed to this girl whilst I was in third year on campus.
Hold on a second. Did you say you're in a 2-month relationship?
Yeah, the age, or let me say, the age is just 2 months. She accepted me. We just finished school almost last 2 months. That's where she accepted me. Right now she's in Temam in Koforidua. And she's exposing, or there's certain symptoms are coming, which I don't know my stand in the relationship. I really, really love her. She has been posted to Koforidua here, and I'm also in Koforidua. National service, you need to come and, place your document and so on and so forth at where you have been posted. She came with a guy, and I even met them in town looking for accommodation. Later, I need to come back home to pick my nephew from school, blah, blah, blah. So I told her that later she should call me if anything happens. You know something? This lady pursued with a male friend that she came with. And at Atlanta Park, they went to sleep. I don't know, he said a guest house or whatever, thinking that if she called me, she's going to worry me. So she didn't call me, and they slept in a room with that same guy, claiming the bad guy is a friend, so nothing happened. I've let go that. If you pick a phone right now, there's this certain guy. My name is Francis. That guy's name is Foster. If you pick the phone and you go to the call log, it's like I'm battling with a guy at the call log. Let's say Francis called 80 minutes ago. The Foster is 6 minutes ago. That is how it will follow up to the bottom. I've asked her several times, and she's like, that guy is a friend, JHS friend. That guy is a friend, JHS friend. So recently, I called her and I was like, okay, let me say hi to that male friend who has been supportive to you since. And she has been vehemently refusing.
Francis, hold on a second. I think we've got the gist of your problem. He's called Fran. Let me have my guest Nicolina address that. Nicolina, what's going on here?
Wow, that's a red flag already. Francis, I mean, if you are not sure with all the things you're saying, okay, you really love this person. Have you sat down to find out what is going on? She keeps saying this is a friend, this is supportive. Have you sat down? And you're really, what did you go doing on her phone in the first place too? This is just a friend. Even if you're a couple, it's not advisable to be checking each other's phone. What are you looking for?
It raises issues of trust.
You raise issues of trust.
Yeah.
So already, please, I will tell you, take your leg out. Because if this is how you're going to start, then I'm sorry. Because you're not sounding
Nicolina,
good.
do you sense some amount of insecurity in him?
Of course, and a lot of relationship starts with that. When you start a relationship with insecurity, you're not going anywhere. Because no matter what you are told, you might not even believe it.
Yeah.
Okay.
While I sense some insecurity in him, I think that his fear is also
founded.
Yes, founded. You understand? Because I think something might have pushed him to pick the girl's phone. Because first and foremost, they are not even together. The girl is in a different city. He's in a different city. But the guy coming to the place with the girl coming to a place with the guy sleeping in the same room, I'm sure probably might have scared him. So then he decides to do that. But I think that basically, Francis, listen, you are too young. You're about to start your national service. There is a whole world out there waiting for you. Don't start hurting yourself at this stage. No, 2 months. 2 months is too much for drama.
Yeah.
Bro, just move on. Just move on. You are too young. Don't get yourself into that triangle.
In fact, if you manage your relationship properly, 2 months is part of the courting and getting to know process.
Getting to know each other. And
I don't think you're even at a point to make a decision whether this is the one.
Exactly. And if within this 2 months all this thing is coming up,
Nicolina said something about values.
Yeah.
People must learn that as soon as someone proposes to you and you say yes, the person is in a unique position.
Yeah.
Right.
Everyone else is an acquaintance from then onwards.
Sure.
So people must be able to draw a boundary. This is how you relate.
Yeah.
And if that relationship is important to you, you should be able to set some people aside. So if the person you're in a relationship says, I am not comfortable with this person and the way the person is close to you, you need to be able to draw a line. As long or as soon as you are not willing to draw a line or let go that one, then there's more to it than normal.
Yes.
Then you better take a backstage and let the person have it.
And I also
It's as
think
simple
that,
as that.
I also think that, you know, when people are coming to start a relationship, I mean, the early conversations that they need to have. And I believe in conversation.
Sure.
It's for us to start talking about what I want and what I don't want,
Ground
what we
rules.
can do and what you set the ground rules.
You just took the
that-
words out of
yes,
my mouth.
So that if the guy is telling you, listen, once we start dating, I don't want to see your ex, I don't want to see your this, I don't want to see your that. You the lady will take everything in and ask yourself, can I do this? If the lady tells you, listen, once we start dating, I don't want to be hearing today I'm hanging out with my boys. If I want you here, not you and your boys. Then you, the guy, sit down and ask yourself, can I do this? So have those conversations and then decide.
You see, it raises the whole
Once you
question.
can or the one you
It raises
can't.
the whole question of setting the boundaries of your
Yes.
relationship.
Yes.
Now, in many occasions, what you tend to happen, and this I think is you tend to see this a lot in relationships. Before you met the girl or before the girl met the guy, you had your friends, both male and female. Sadly, when they get into a relationship, they don't properly introduce the nature of the relationship with those friends.
Exactly.
So a new partner comes into the picture and they say, oh, hang on, who's this Kweku guy? That if he himself is insecure, he begins to think because you're good friends with Kweku, something's going on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you've known Kweku probably about 10, 15 years before you met him. And I think it's because they don't actually discuss their friends.
Yes.
Who are my friends, both male and female, and introduce each other to them. So you get to know who the people are. It usually ends up in trouble.
Because what you're saying is very true, and it's important, like PJ said, we talk and communicate. Once you want to go into a relationship with somebody, even your parents need to know who your friends are. You understand? So crossing over to somebody you have butterflies in your tummy about, you need to let them know, these are my friends. If you come home and I'm not here, I'm likely to be with Ama or Akuswa. But you don't do that. And then when this start happening, if there's something other than just relationship, that is where the fear comes that he's my cousin. Or the next time you forget, you say he's your cousin, my friend's brother. And then it goes on and on and on.
Right.
You know.
Kabna, I want to ask you a touch on a point that you raised earlier. But before I do that, we got some messages in here, and someone says some are single and they have peace. I mean, that's that's fair enough. I think that's a call. But someone from the UK, what he says, I would just like to add that I support what the gentleman said, that marriage is not for everyone. I feel that a lot of people marry because of society and because we are expected to do so. I think that's a very valid point. And another message coming in says, good morning, Home Affairs. My question is if a very regular listener to Joy FM, Ajuman Joseph. He says, good morning, Home Affairs. My question is, if one says not everyone in this world is to marry, is it in God's plans or depending on that person's behavior, attitude, or mindset?
So if we were to go by the biblical principle of one man, one wife, just by sheer numbers, there are more men, more women than men.
Right.
This is what one crap where
Some
obi
on that basis, exactly.
Just on that alone. Okay. Another message is coming in and says, a friend of mine is dating. Let's see. Oh, hang on. Here we go. A friend of mine is dating a married man, and she's ready to be his second wife. But anytime the man is with his wife, she's angry because he doesn't allow the lady to go out with her friends. What advice do you have for?
Come on.
Auntie Nicolina.
Come on. He is sitting with his wife and he says, don't go out with your friends. So what are you doing there in the first place?
It's called bondage.
Oh, come on.
It's called bondage.
This kind of bondage, you should flee and run. I mean, it's not necessary.
Sure.
Now, you know the guy is married. You have him as a friend. Fine. But you have your life. And that is the values I was talking about. What do you want for yourself? You don't get into a relationship and all of a sudden you are locked. You are a prisoner. No.
Right.
Please, take a serious look at your decisions, okay? Because sometimes you don't know where all this is leading to. And then you are locked up By the time you realize time is gone past, you're not looking for a man to date and you're not getting. You end up going to something that you might not really like
Right.
because you wasted your time.
I think that the girl has brought that bondage on herself. Because I mean, you cannot complain that the man doesn't allow you to go out with your friends when he's his wife. What are you even doing with a married man in the first place?
Yeah.
I mean, like there's so many young guys out there. Most of my friends on Facebook are single. They are looking for girls. Yes, guys. I'm just giving you a shout out. You know, and then you are locked up with a married man, and then
the
you are
matchmaker.
and then you are crying.
yeah,
You are
yeah.
crying that he doesn't. I mean, you know, that's all twisted. You know,
Let's get real.
Lady, just walk out.
Kwabena, early on, you touched on the whole question about there was a message. One of the caller, I think, was a message talking about, and you mentioned that they were on the rebound. There was a rebound situation. This whole question of rebound, beyond the rebound, why does it happen, and what can singles do to prevent finding themselves in that situation?
Okay, so anytime a relationship ends, the one who is not the one who ended it. So normally when it's about to end, the one who would call for it to end would have had a period of time to psychologically adjust and to break it off.
Right.
So the person goes through an emotional period of healing. Now the person who has been broken up with needs time to heal and to get over that situation. Different people have different ways of coping or adjusting. Now, during that period, that person is a bit vulnerable and is most likely to fall into the arms of the closest male friend who would be ready to comfort her. And so, in that instance, you will feel that this may be the right person for me.
Right.
It is after you've healed
that you realize.
then the scales will fall off
Your eyes.
the eyes, and you realize that actually this may not be what I want. Then the problems start again.
And usually it's around this time where all you wanted was somebody to cry on, and this person was there. All you wanted was somebody to be there when you are broken, and this person is there. Then later on, after everything is gone, and you realize that your desires, your interests, your aspirations, hopes, and dreams are bigger than the person who was next to you, then you begin to have a problem. And a lot of marriages today are collapsing because the relationship started as a rebound relationship. Somebody broke, and I know someone, someone personally, who was so broken, sat in a car. This guy sat next to her, and then the guy was like, "You look very sad," and then they just started talking. They
And
married.
that was it.
After 5 years, they are divorced. Yes, and it happens
It happens a lot.
So for me, whenever people are going through divorce and they come to me, I try to go past the problems they are complaining about to look at how the relationship even started.
Right.
Because it is in the foundations.
PG, I have a caller on the line. Isaac, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling into the show. Let's hear your question or your contribution.
I'm Isaac from Springtest, Isaac Boy Naughty. There's one thing now which is going on. You know, ladies are not ready to have marriage, and guys, some of them are also not ready for marriage. But what they are ready for is sex. So when they are with you and they see you going out with different person, they think you're also having sex.
Isaac, just one. Can you lower your radio set a little bit? We're getting some feedback.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
What they want is sex. So when they see you going out with someone, they think about sex. But as everything, we all need prayer into it. You ask the Lord whether what I'm picking, is it for me or it's not for me. If that one is not for you, before you get into, that thing is broken already. When it's for you, before you get into, you know it's for you forever. So what we need to do now is that, one, we need to pray before we get ourselves into it. I was in a relationship, 2 relationships, they are all nurses. One told me the uncle says we shouldn't get married. Because when we do, when the uncle dies, that lady shouldn't come to the funeral. And that thing broke up. The uncle gave her another one. One also, it was a different. So what we need to do is, fine, when it happens, don't just think life is ended. Marriage has ended. Marriage starts when someone else stops. So what we need to do is we pray, and by the grace of God, the Lord is going to do it for us.
Thank you so much, Isaac. Thank you for those contributions. PD, you want to respond to that?
Yes.
Add to that.
One thing that he said, which for me was very profound, was the fact that, when you are with someone and the two of you are having sex, when you see them with other people, you assume that they are doing the same thing. Even making it a bit bigger, I would like to say that how a relationship starts will go a long way to influence the trust level in the relationship.
So true.
If I and Nicolina started dating when probably I was in a relationship or she was in a relationship, and some way, somehow, we had a parallel relationship alongside it, the mere fact that we could do stuff, even though one of us or both of us were committed elsewhere, only tells me that when I am also committed with you, or the two of us are in a committed relationship, we could still do stuff. And so that becomes the point where a lot of men are insecure, a lot of women are insecure. Where were you? Why are you not picking my call? Because they know that routine all too well. They've been with you several times where your phone rang and he said, no, I won't pick. No, this one is this one is that. When the two of you knew that what you were doing was illegitimate. So then the two of you are together, you are somewhere, they are calling you, you are not picking. All the things start running through their mind again, like, what is happening? Where is he now? Where is she now? So a lot of the trust issue actually starts from how the relationship itself was conceived. Exactly. Right. So for me, it matters a lot. I always tell, when I start dating, one of the things I'll tell a lady is that don't lie to people in front of me, because once you start doing that, I get a bit jittery. If you're lying to someone in front of me, then when I'm the other person on the phone, I am sure that you could also be lying to me, and then raise a lot of questions. So we try to get some of these things clear.
Okay, let's deal with some of the messages. Jayla in Asalobotwe, you sent a message earlier on, and I think we tackled it, but maybe you missed the points. I'm going to get Nicolina.
So you talked about your girlfriend being with a married man, and then you are not seeing the spark in the relationship as you thought. I don't think you expect to see the spark in the relationship.
Absolutely.
This we said clear. That walk away, because she is with a married person. He says he loved this person. When she discovered that the person was actually married, she got all broken, and then you thought, you were the next person. Do you want to go on like this? What if she gets into another relationship and puts you aside? The love is simply not there. So you need to know yourself, know what you want in a love relationship, career, and I keep stressing that values before you go into marriage. Be able to identify and discover who you are and know what you want. So like PJ said, anybody who comes in, you put like a check on yourself. Yep. You yourself wouldn't want to do certain things to disappoint yourself, let alone allow somebody to come into your life and then distract what you want to be or want to do with yourself.
Thank you very much for that. Now we also have another message. Let's see, who is this? A question's coming and says, are single rules age specific? It says, I'm in my early 40s and really want to settle down. I have gone past identifying myself, knowing what I want. Due to my age, some people say I should just take anyone, whether he meets my ideals or not, and get married. What should I do?
You will suffer for that,
suffer for
my
life.
dear. You will suffer for that. Get in touch with us. PG will hook you. 40 years, you come very far, and I'm glad you said you've discovered yourself. The challenge I have with women of that age is what exactly she said. Yep. So everybody is putting pressure on you. Go get it. And now what is also trending is that young women don't really care. I want to have a child, so society would know that I'm not barren. It is wrong. You put a lot burden on yourself, because the child will start asking you, where is my daddy? Who is my daddy? Yep. He or she goes into society, goes to school, and see parents, fathers bringing their awards and say, Mom, you haven't told me, what are you going to do? It's a lot more pressure on you then. Please pray to God. Be patient. No matter the age, God will bring somebody your way. If God really wants you to settle with somebody, He will bring somebody your way. There's no need to be put under pressure because of family or society. People are married, but they wish the door could just be open to say get out, and they will be out. So don't get yourself entangled because of society. Please.
Thank you for that. We're going to go for a short commercial interlude. I want to come back. We'll continue the conversation. Stick with us. Joy 99.7 Home Affairs.
Is your home protected? I mean, truly protected? Yes, it may be burglar-proofed. But what about flood? fire, storm, lightning, earthquake, robbery, attack, or anything that could destroy your most precious investment. Unique 360 Home Package pays for repair or replacement of your building or contents and also pays for alternative accommodation while your home gets fixed. Additionally, injuries suffered within your home are covered. Get Unique 360 Home Package for absolute peace of mind. Call Unique Insurance on 0501 569 433. Unique Insurance, where your needs come first.
Health is life, oh. If you play around with yours or your child's, it will cost you, papa. Everybody's going to tell you what to try, which could be far from the cure. But listen, whenever you or your child experience symptoms like feverishness, headache, and sweating, first, you need to test for malaria at the nearest pharmacy or health facility. And if confirmed positive for malaria, then the ACT, which is proven to fight malaria effectively, will be prescribed. One must do well to complete the full 3-day course of dosage. If test proves negative, further investigation should be done. Let's be serious with fighting malaria. Do the right thing.
Let's come together and drive malaria away for good life. This advert is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Ghana Health Service.
Right, we're back on Home Affairs, Joy 99.7. We have Hayford on the line. Hayford, good morning. Hello, Hayford.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, and thanks for calling the show. Let's have your question or your contribution.
Contribution is this. You see, one of your panelists just made a very vital point. He was saying that normally when there are problems with marriages, he begins to look at how the marriage was contracted. You see, these are the problems. I have also realized one thing, that normally if you marry a woman or a man who has been brought up in a broken home, you are likely to end up like that. These are the things. So, in as much as we continue to have, marriages being broken, so also if the number will be having the multiplication effect. Because once you are brought up in a home, which is a broken home, you never had the love of your father, you never have the love of your mother. Look, let me give you an example now. I have a nephew who just died recently. So exactly 1 month after he has had wedding. The woman was once married and have children, but this woman never disclosed this to the man. The woman never disclosed this to the man. Do you think if this man had not died, he wouldn't have dissolved the marriage? So I think the church leaders have a lot of work to do. You see.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very, very much.
Very true. Foundation is very important. Yep. And so what do? We have a lot of broken homes. So I want to talk to parents who have young adults, okay? Now, if your marriage is broken, either both ways, male or female, you're staying with the kids. There are very, very important things you need to do and inculcate into them. They need to have values. Now, you need to nurture them well so that they know that if they really want to go into marriage, there are things they need to look out for. We just talk about singlehood and then dating, and then it goes into marriage. Yeah. It's a process, okay? And it must start from the home. Because their marriage is broken, your home is broken, there are certain things you need to look out for. Uncles are there, aunties are there. Let them have that experience and let them know
the
that
social networks.
It is important to live as a family. So if you have a female child, let her know how to serve the brother. Let the brother know how to serve the sister.
Sure.
Let them support and help each other. We miss those things. Those are very fundamental.
Right.
Now, as they go, they will begin to, I don't like my brother. It's all coming to your face. And before you realize,
she's taken
and I
into
tell
marriage.
people all the time, the way you relate to your mother and your sisters as a man, you will treat your wife the same way. The way you relate to your father and your brothers, you treat your husband the same way.
In fact, it's funny you should say that, because I remember about 4 years ago, I was in the church and the pastor said something so profound. And he said, young men, if you're going to marry a woman and she's got brothers, watch the way she relates and treats her brothers. It will give an indication of the way she will treat you.
Teach them also commitment. Let them be committed to the family values. Let them be committed to themselves, to their school, to their friends. It helps because you are building something in them that when they transit into a relationship, they know how to keep their time with their friends before even a girlfriend or a boyfriend comes in.
Thank you very much, Rolena. Let's take some other messages. I've got here Eric from Adenta says, I am 30 dating someone who is 27. I trust her all right, but before she started dating, I made it clear I don't like ladies who wear lipstick, nails, and do all these paintings on their faces. She agreed and stopped. But anytime I travel out, I come unannounced and I find out that she still does this and it's creating problems for us. My spirit just doesn't like that. Would I be wrong if I move on? I think I have some serious questions here.
You won't be wrong. My brother, you won't be wrong.
You won't be wrong to move on.
You won't be wrong.
But you see, this tells me fundamentally, she just agreed because
Just
she
to
wanted
be with-
you,
yes,
just to be with you.
Exactly.
So you won't be wrong if you move on. But as a woman, I'm asking, yes, 24/7 she'll be with you if you want to. But she goes out and her face is all, moody and
There are some
down.
men who just don't
Yeah,
like
so I'm not saying
if she's not willing
there
to
could
give
be
it
a
up, you should just move
There
on.
could be a
Period.
mild one. What if they are in love?
No.
He goes and 2 days he comes
You
back
see,
to say, I
what
really
what
love
is happening
you.
here is that
You
what
see
is
that-
happening here is
yes.
that because she doesn't want to give it up, when he's not there,
Then
he's
Then
doing
he
it.
does.
I mean,
That
when
is
she
also
leaves
not
home,
wrong.
she will do it in their car.
that
And
is-
then what
that
it
is
also
also-
then what
that
it
is
what is
also
also
very
that
wrong.
is also an indication of the fact that there could be other commitments she might be
But-
making on the face value,
Yes.
but then they are not deep enough.
Yes.
And I think that
it's
is very
very-
important.
yes.
It's
So
very important.
You're not wrong to move
Okay.
on. Yeah.
I've got another one in here says, I'm truly in love with a lady who is having a child for another man whom she says she's not together with. But somewhere along the line, the man wants her back. But she's saying she wouldn't go back. Am I safe?
Okay, so anytime you pick a spouse who has a child for another person, that other person is in your life for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So the first question you need to ask yourself if you are going to marry someone with a child is, am I ready to accept the child and the child's father as part
Sure.
of my family? Because it can be 20 years down the line. You'd have looked after the child knows you as the father.
Sure.
But when the real father appears, his emotions are going to switch. And you will be hurt that the child doesn't owe allegiance to you and rather is going to the father.
Yeah, but
so it's a question you always ask a couple who are about to get married. Are you ready for the complications and the complexities of step parenting?
But Kovnat, for me, there's also another point that sometimes gets missed. And you also see it in people who have been married and divorced and have kids, and then later on they all end up remarrying again. I believe, and please, I submit myself to your opinions. If you have a child and you meet somebody and that person is going to come into your life, that new person must have the opportunity to meet the father of the child. You both need to establish some ground rules that child has to follow. Because if you're not careful, what you will find is the child now starts to play the men against each other or the women against each other. And that actually can destroy the relationship.
Exactly.
So it's very important that, in my opinion, that you sit down, okay, we're married, we're divorced now, I've met you, this is my child, you're the new man in my life. The woman has a responsibility to make sure that the father of her child gets to understand the nature of their relationship, and there has to be some civility and communication between the men for the welfare of the child, at least.
Yes.
The two meeting might depend on how that relationship itself ended.
Precisely.
If it was acrimonious,
Very difficult.
you might want to avoid it, because then when you meet the other person, you might most likely live with your mind being poisoned about the person in the middle.
Right, I get you.
So you might want to be careful, but between you and the one who has a child, there must be ground rules.
Exactly.
Sure.
So if I'm going to look after your son or your daughter from another man, this is what is going to happen. I don't want the man to come to my house. If he wants to see the child, You might want to send the child at this time and make sure the child is back at that time, blah, 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 blah. If you are not ready to make a compromise on these arrangements, then it's not likely to work.
Yeah.
But I still think, like...
PG, before I'll let you come in back because I have a call on the line.
Right. Okay.
Ajiman Joseph, good morning.
Boss, you owe me credit, though.
Me, I owe you credit. Don't worry. Good
morning, boss.
Good morning. How are you? Let's hear you very quickly.
Very well. I hope you're doing wonderful.
I'm good.
Yeah, my question is, being a single and you are, dating, I know you need to pray for God to help us to make a good decision as of whom to choose. Is the prayers more important as compared to studying the person based on red lights that will determine whether this marriage will go well or not?
Well, it's interesting that you should ask this. I think that a lot of us love to pray over everything, that we should probably use wisdom and pragmatism to actually, look at. And
that's deep.
And yes,
that is so deep.
Yes, and you find a lot of Christians standing in church praying when they should be opening their eyes. And we try to find spiritual implications and meaning to everything. And the things are so on the face.
Glaring on your face.
Look,
the person is not working.
That
he
is
says, I want to
with,
marry you.
No, that is a problem with us.
And you've gone praying about it.
That's a problem with us. As a society, we spiritualize everything.
Yeah.
And some of the things, and for some reason, a prophet will come to tell you, a pastor will come to tell you, someone will come to tell you. Do you even know the conversation that went on in the background between them before they came to tell you? And it's come up over and over again when you interrogate or when you drill down. You get to realize that, there was a connection somewhere. And then these stories are all fake. It's important that we think sometimes and stop praying. I'm not saying don't pray, but you are doing both, but there's a time to pray and there's a time to open your eyes.
Absolutely.
You know what? There should be conviction
yes,
within you of what you are praying about. And then when somebody also says it, then you are more than convinced. You cannot stop praying. But where you need to open your eyes, like I was just saying, the person is not working. You see him as a lazy chap. And he comes and say, I want to marry you. Okay, then you sit down. How are we going to marry? Where would we live? If children come in, how will we take care of ourselves? What do you mean by God will provide? You don't eat faith.
No, God will,
you don't eat faith.
Your faith is small.
I have seen a pastor who was standing by a roadside telling the wife and the kids that, don't worry, God will give us a car by next week. God will give, and it continued. And for 5 years in the marriage, every day God will give us a car. The man gets up because he says he's a pastor. He does absolutely nothing. The woman goes out to work, bringing the money. Now the lady says, I am tired because I can't be doing all this stuff. And you sit in the house and then you say you are praying. Praying for what?
Yeah.
Get out there and get something doing. In the creation, in the Garden of Eden, Bible says that God put man to work.
That's right.
So work.
What?
There you had it for me. She says you got to work. Well, let me just read this little bit of announcement and then we'll come back with the show. It's Home Affairs. Now it's time for the Joy News Habitat Fair, building on the continued success from last year's Habitat Fair in promoting affordable housing for all. This year's edition will take a different look under the theme, Rethinking Building Technology in Ghana to Give True Meaning to Affordable Housing. The 2019 edition of the Joy News Habitat Fair, in collaboration with Elegant Homes and SuperSem, will create a one-stop avenue which will bring together all property buyers, insurance companies, finance, construction, security, energy, and real estate firms will all be there. So why don't you join us at the West Hills Mall for the second mini clinic, which is going to be happening on Saturday 17th to Sunday 18th August from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So that's Saturday 17th to 18th August, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. To sponsor and exhibit your products and services during the fair, please contact 0544-310-864 or 054-690-8179. I'll repeat those numbers again. 0544-310-864 or 0546-908-179. The 2019 Joy News Habitat Fair is brought to you by Elegant Homes and General Construction, where quality meets value, SuperSem, building your dream, And sponsors include DBS Roofing, Roofing Papafie, Talk, Timeless Architectural Fittings, Dermot Roof. They are distinct and dependable and Everlast, the right choice for your UPVC windows and doors. Join News Habitat Fair 2019, rethinking building technology in Ghana to give true meaning to affordable housing. Now the calls are coming in. I have Stephen on the line. Good morning, Stephen.
Yeah, good morning, Home Affairs.
Thank you so much for calling in. Let's hear you.
I have a friend who has a girlfriend, and he always complains to me that the girlfriend always concerns herself with issues relating to her ex-boyfriend. This friend always tries to bring the girl on. One time it happens, the girls come back. Another time, the girl concerns herself with issues relating to her ex. This is my friend, please.
Go ahead.
I said, there's this friend who has a girlfriend. And then this friend always complains about how this lady always concerns herself with matters relating to her ex-boyfriend. Whenever they are together with, that my friend is together with her, she always concerns herself with issues relating to her boyfriend. The friend always tries to bring her on, but one time it works, another time the girl concerns herself with issues relating to the ex-boyfriend.
Okay, we get the picture.
Okay, so there's a reason why the way if someone is your ex, you are supposed to move on and leave the person behind. If you keep going back to the person and you can't let the person go, then you are still bound to the person. So the one who is here, what is he doing? So please tell your friend that the girl still wants the ex, so you should just move on.
Simple as that. Simple as that. Right, we have another message in here. It says, good morning to you all. I'm Benedict. After completing SHS, I was dating a girl. We were together for some time, and all of a sudden, this girl got pregnant with another guy. After she was given...
She has given...
After she has
given birth, she returned back to me, pleading that I should accept her again because of the love I have for her. I accepted. We were together now for 7 months. She's staying with her sister while her parents are in the village. I asked this girl to take me to the sister, but she refuses. From then, I'm confused.
Right. Benedict, please. As for this one, you don't need any angels to come from heaven to come and tell you anything. This is a red flag.
It's red flag.
Please,
it's crystal
just
clear.
move on with your life. What are you looking for in the first place?
No, but I don't understand why all these young people are so excited. We all fell in love, after
PG, I was just going to ask the question. There seems to be something wrong with the way some of these young ones even think. Is it a case of a lack of emotional intelligence? What is it? Because this is so crystal clear.
1 minute. I'm discovering something. I have a young adult. Okay, I have a girl who is 16 years.
Right.
And I have a 14-year-old boy. Recently, they went to a summer camp, and then after the camp, there was a parents' forum where some issues were discussed with parents from 10 years. 10 years old are having clashes. Okay? On others. It's natural and it's normal. I see somebody, this is nice. But beyond that, what goes else into your mind? Now, so moving on, this is the society we find ourselves. So that is why I say that parenting is very critical. So let the child know that it's normal to see somebody, the person is nice, you like their company, but beyond that, have your values that I don't cross this boundary. You just finish SS. Do you have work to do? What is the next stage of your career? What are you thinking? Where are you seeing yourself in the next 5 years before bringing somebody else into your life? One of the critical things you need to do is be very independent in your mind, in your career, in your emotion, your finance and everything before inviting somebody else into your life. I don't know what they want.
Yeah, but Nicolina, to even cap it all off, I don't think she's even matured enough
that
yet to even
consider.
But you see, we make it look a little bit too simplistic. The reality is that at that age, they are dealing with a lot of emotions. They are trying to discover
themselves.
Hormonal changes, adulthood. And that is a period. It's not just that period that people fall in love. it's also that period that people become rebellious if parents don't control them well, because they're trying to discover themselves. What it means is that they are testing so many things at the same time.
And
so
if the boundaries are not there within the
boundaries
home.
are not, in the home. So the parental control matters, because it's during this period that a lot of the young people start, testing substance. They're testing so many things. They're trying so many things just to discover themselves. So a lot of parental control needs to come in, parental involvement. But you see, the problem here is that we wait for them to get to that stage before we show interest in their lives. At that time, they don't have a relationship with you.
Yes.
So any violent incursion will be resisted.
Yeah.
So you start building the relationship with your children
From a very young age.
Yes, from a very young age, for them to come to you. Because you see, every day the teenagers wake up, they have a lot of things they are thinking about, and they're asking themselves so many questions.
Then you got social media
exactly.
as well.
So you should be the father or the mother they can always come to.
Yeah.
And ask those questions. You should be very warm and open to their friends, so that when they come home, you watch them in their natural settings, how they behave. Then you can tell your children that I don't like this guy. I don't like this girl. It's because of XYZ reason. So it's important that the parent build those relationships at a very early age. I always say that the last time I asked one of the interns in my office, how old were you? And then she mentioned, when were you born? And she said she was born in 1998. And I said, if I'd given birth after secondary school, my daughter would be older than you. Then I made a joke that it would be fun to be chilling with my daughter, because at your age, it's fun to talk to you. It would have been fun, because now I could chill with you, we could have fun, we could talk about some of these things. And that's the personal promise I've made to myself, that if my children grow to a certain age, that's a relationship that I want to have with them, so that by the time they are in their teens, we flow. Which means that you're not going to hide your girlfriend from me, or you're not going to hide your boyfriend from me. We flow. Your boyfriend comes, we all sit in the car, we all go and chill. Through that, I am shaping decisions. I am shaping emotions. So by the time the two of you agree that this is it for us, you are more than sure. I think that he's too young. But then, where are the parents? Where is he coming from?
And PJ, that's what I'm saying. You see, and especially with the broken homes, where you have maybe only one parent taking care, it's very critical, because at this point where they're trying to discover themselves, if it's the male taking care of the kids, the girl you should be the first boyfriend.
Absolutely.
Engage them. Because like you're saying, if you don't start early, and among themselves as siblings, you need to build that as well, and grow and transcend with them. Try to know what is trending in their lives, with their friends. My daughter tells me she has a company, and friends, they have a meeting on Monday, 1 o'clock. And I said, let them come home. I will cook for you people. So I get to know who is involved with what.
With what? Absolutely.
And then all of a sudden, you get getting to know what they like. They want to do their hair a certain style. Does it conform to the values at home? If no. No, because not that society is doing, not that friends is doing it, so I'm also doing it. But you are shaping them.
Right.
If it's the boy, the mother should be the first girlfriend.
Thank you very much, Lekolina. I have another message in here. Boy, they're coming in fast. Message here from Kofi. He says, a sister is married with 2 children but lives a single life. The man lives somewhere, the lady lives somewhere else. The man tells the lady's friend he's no longer interested in the marriage, but the lady thinks it's a spiritual attack. They've lived separately for more than 4 years. There's been no conversation between them for most of the time, and it's always arguments. This man has a child with a different woman. It's a very complicated story. What should this supposed wife do? Governor, who wants to take this one? Governor?
Okay. This one, it would need a lot more probing to find out what the issue is. So probably if they get in touch, they can be put through to any of the pastors or counselors to help.
Good. Okay. Now we also have now before I go on to the next message, we've touched on the whole issue of we're hearing a number of stories, some on the phone, some are coming through the WhatsApp platform, but it raises a question for me that I want to throw to you. Most of these young ones in the 90s, in their 20s, 25s, they are the products of our generation, of in their 50s. The big question I ask myself is, I come from the old school where my father said certain boundaries you dare not cross. It raises a big question now. Have we failed as parents to set the right boundaries or to create the right environments for these young ones to lead healthy single lives, even when they're dating before they plan to get married? Have we failed?
I'll say yes, to a large extent, because all of a sudden the phone is the friend. We're chasing after money. We're working. We are out of the house. I always say that it's not the quantity of time you spend with the child, but the quality of time. Within that space where they're seated in the car and you're taking them to school, where they all want to be with you at every point in time, what did you instill in them? Because it will come a time where they don't even want to know where you are. They want to be with themselves, and it is that time they start discovering themselves, and things are shaping so quick and fast for them. So I would say to an extent, but they, as I speak to their homes too, that are largely well conformed and mannered. So if you're a parent and you've not been able to know this balancing act, to transcend with your children and to help them discover themselves and be your friend, then I would say that they are in 25, you've gone too far. 12, thereabouts, you are losing them. So watch out. And then bring them closer to you as a friend. And that's not the shouting. Mummies, please, let's not shout. When you shout, they don't hear a thing.
Yeah. So you must establish how you communicate.
How you communicate. Even if you have to punish, let them understand why you are punishing them for something.
Okay.
So that they learn from it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nicolina, for that. Now, here's Raymond from Somania. He says, please, I'm dating a lady now with 2 children. Her character and attitude are what every man will go for. We both love each other, but my issues are my parents would not accept someone with 2 children. Please advise me. Asafo. I want to throw this one at you.
Okay. So you see, it's easy for someone to be radical and say, you know what, if the woman is a good woman, go for her. Experience and time and age will tell you that it is dangerous to marry someone against your parents' wishes. More so when there are 2 children involved. So there's the issue of stepchildren. Now the question is, today the woman is showing you an attitude that you want to see. After you've married her, will that same attitude be there? You might want to understand what led to the children coming in. In some instances, it is no fault of hers. She's saddled with 2 children. Question you need to answer is, am I willing to love her with her kids? And am I ready to start my married life with 2 children that are not mine? These are very major decisions. You need to take good counseling before you make.
Exactly. Thank you very much for that. It says, good. Who's this? Let's see who's this. It's, okay, this is Martha Lija in Nungwa. She says, good morning, guys. Great conversation you're having in there relating to these topics. I'm listening with my daughter. Okay, thank you very much for that, Charles. Good morning to Martha Lija in Nungwa, and that's from Charles in Pram Pram. And also, I'd like to on behalf of Joy 99.7, we'd like to say happy 60th birthday to Augusta Cranton of the Love Community Church International and formerly of the Information Service Department. You're indeed a true definition of godly service, and will forever be grateful to you for the genuine show of love and selfless support. May the Almighty God satisfy you with awesome goodness on this special day and live to be 99.7 and over. Cheers. Happy birthday going to you, Augusta Cranton. Have a great day. Now, let's see. It says in here, Home Affairs, he says, I date... Wow. That's going to be interesting. I dated this lady for close to 5 years as she was in when she was in JHS until she completed SHS. All was fine, but one day she had issues with her guardian and was thrown out of the house. We lived like 200 meters away from each other, but when she was thrown out, she couldn't call me but went to stay with a so-called uncle. Later, it turned out to be a boyfriend with whom she got pregnant. All of this she tried to hide from me, but I found out myself. Long story short, she had a baby, and after numerous calls, she said she was sorry and wanted to come back. I lost self-control and had an affair with her. Now she also has my baby.
Oh, dear.
Because I made my mind up not to marry her. Please advise me. Oh, my goodness. I mean, how do you get?
Mukronyi tadi.
Oh, you mumpo. Kujapia ufitakrazi.
Mayam mwade.
Completely no. You see, self-control is very important. I mean, this lady is going, and
my goodness.
Believe you me, she was thrown out because of her behavior.
Precisely.
You know, and if she could hid it from you, didn't tell you, and then uncle turned to a boyfriend who she had a child with, and then you jump into it again. No, please.
So you see, there's a problem with decision making. It's similar to the other story, where people come and say, "Oh, I made a mistake." You made a mistake, and a mistake that has a consequence of a child. It is not an easy mistake.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will you make that mistake again? And people don't ask themselves.
Yeah.
And you see, if you go into it, you find out that the more you have sexual contact with someone when you are not married, the more it's likely to influence your judgment. So you'll not be able to make the right judgments.
Objectivity is
once
lost.
it becomes critical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that is the reason why the Bible says we should not do it.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank you very much. I have a call on the line. I think we've lost you, Sly. If you can call back again, we'll try and put you through to the show.
And for me, I am just asking myself, you know, how does a young girl get herself into all of this? What is it that will make them at that young age be this callous? You understand? You're dating someone, and then apparently this person is your boyfriend, whom probably your current boyfriend or the known boyfriend is not even aware of. And then stuff happens, you are thrown out of the house, you go to this same man again, and then you pretend this man is an uncle. And you don't even tell your boyfriend. You understand? Like, you ask yourself, at what age or what will influence such things in the young generation that is coming up? I think that the degree of callousness is getting a little bit scary.
It's a challenge we have in our society with moral decadence.
Yeah.
So that thing is we've lost our values.
Yes.
We don't know how to speak the truth anymore. We don't know how to be upfront with people anymore.
Somebody said something. Let me just say. He says that in Ghana, we go for meetings, we spend the 5 minutes praying, and we spend the 2 hours lying at the meeting. Then when we finish, we spend 5 minutes praying again, and then walk out. And I thought it was so true.
Yeah.
You know, we go for meetings and we all pray to start the meeting, and then through the entire meeting, people are lying. Everybody's lying.
But you listen to your leaders, and they come and lie to you all the time.
And then on Sundays, they go to church to thank God. And
Okay,
pay
guys,
tithes.
hang on. Hold on 1 second.
Excellent.
I just going to read this message. This message is coming in from Clara Berry to Mr. D. Casati, and it says, well, it is hard to keep calm. You're one of the finest marketing and project management brains, a chartered marketer, fellow of the American Academy of Project Management, and also you are currently the Vice President and President-elect of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana. You started your PhD studies as a dreamer to many. Notwithstanding this, you persevered, and today, August 10th, you will be awarded the Doctor of Philosophy in Business Administration, specializing in marketing. So far, the Lord has brought us, and we are grateful to the good Lord. And once again, congratulations, Dr. Daniel Casati. We are proud of you, and we love you. And on behalf of Joy 99.7, we would like to say a big congratulations to you on achieving your PhD, and I'm sure you're going to rise up and do great things. Thank you very much.
Kasati, congrats.
You know him.
He's a friend.
Oh, fantastic.
We are in the Chartered Institute of Marketing together.
Okay,
we are so proud of you.
Okay, Kasati, so you also had your wishes from Nicolina in the studio, right? So it's a double celebration there for you.
Yeah, we'll be there to support him.
Right, okay. No, I thought there was a call coming through. This is a point that Nicolina touched on. Someone says, hold on a second, let's see what's going on in here. Some of these guys, the way they write these messages, they're not easy to read. Eh? Well, it says, my boyfriend is self-employed and doesn't make enough. I advised he looks for another job to support the home. Should it be that we marry? He said no. Asked for a breakup twice because of the same issue. He insisted I give him a timeline. If his job doesn't improve and I want to leave, then I should go ahead and do it. Should money be the reason to walk out of a relationship?
My sister, you see, money is not a reason necessarily to walk out of a relationship, but you should also watch out for yourself.
Yeah.
I believe that if you are used to driving a particular car and eventually you have to downgrade, you have to ask yourself, can I actually go through it? In the same way, if you are used to living a particular lifestyle and because of marriage, you have to downgrade, you need to ask yourself, is that what I want? Because you see, sometimes your intentions are genuine and the love is there. But when reality hits you and then you wake up in the morning and the basic things that you are so used to, you don't have them again. And in a society that is so influenced, I mean, the way we are influenced is like in an instant. The next moment, your very best friend who was with you while you were dating and saying, oh, it's okay, give it a chance, is the same person who will be telling you, hey, now where you will be to me? Are you sure you want this? Before you know, you are influenced. And the little things that you thought you could contain, you could stay with, you could live with, it becomes so unbearable. Then everything starts going south. Listen, it might not necessarily be the best of reasons to walk out, but if you know it matters to you, if you know accepting him with that little income he makes will eventually influence the relationship that you have, there is no point walking out. Maybe you can just give him time, and then, like he says, give him some timelines, and then let's see if it improves. If it doesn't improve, then that's a man who is bent on doing what he wants. Maybe that's not what you want. So then, you can make a decision. But please, fundamentally look out for yourself. If there is money problem in the home, it can lead to so many other problems.
Right. Thank you very much. We got to wrap up. First, I'd also like to say get well soon to regular host Adam Naite. Adam,
get well soon.
Get well soon. Get well soon. Get well soon.
I love you.
And we love you. And come back with the X Factor. Come back with the X Factor, Adam. You and I, you know what that means, guys. Final words. We'd like to thank you all for coming into the studio once again, Mr. PG Sebastian. I've also got Nicolina Eduama and Kopnata Bedu. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It's been exciting. For those of you who couldn't take your messages, we do apologize, but it's been quite hectic in the studio, and this topic is bound to continue next week when Adam steps into the hot seat of Joy 99.7. Sammy Forson is coming up next with the Weekend City Show. God bless. My name is Paul Ankra. I'm out.
Right.